With the hierarchy piece that you were touching on, it makes me think of a neurodivergent sort of mind and way of seeing the world. It seemed like he was operating on kind of a different sort of nervous system, just looking at his life and the way that he even
Yeah.
structures his work.
Yeah.
And neurodivergent thinking is very anti-hierarchical and more like based on need. And so that's something I observe in the way that you work is that, or that the work is structured. It's like people have a voice and then the ensemble rises to interact with it somehow. And so it's based on almost need or agency.
Yeah, based on need is so interesting. I think that's right. We talk a lot in rehearsal about support.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that
that
speaks to
too.
need. Like, oh, like if this person has to endeavor this, what would it mean? What choices could we all make to create the kind of, casing for that jewel, kind of for the like how to hold that thing so that it lives the right way.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, absolutely. And I think neurodivergence in the work, there's just no question.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't try to, whatever, make a prescription or
Yeah.
say anything, make any clinical, you know, descriptions of Julius and
Hmm.
his psyche. But he was known for doing things that were incredibly provocative.
Hmm.
It wasn't just that he was disenfranchised because of his race and because of the loudness with which he was communicating his sexuality. He also like walked into other his colleague concerts and waited on stage before they arrived and took their applause and then walked out. He also was offered like a big, as far as it's been reported, a significant salary at the conservatory in Paris, and he said, "Pay me 4 times as much, or I won't come." He also like when he lost his housing in Greenwich Village, his friends were trying to pay his rent, and he was handing the money away to people on the street. So I think he is like he was trying to break systems everywhere, including the system of himself, and whether
That's
that's Zen Buddhism or neurodivergence or
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it's a very vast umbrella, neurodivergence. And so, like, without doing any diagnosing, you're
yeah,
absolutely right. It's like, did he do things differently from like
yeah,
neurotypical? Like, absolutely he did. And it almost seems like the music then functions as like a representation of what an alternative system could look like.
I think that's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course there are other people in this lineage. Like I think that
Yeah.
he studied with Frederick Jevsky for a minute, and Jevsky was engaged in political work, and some pieces that have open portions, or some pieces where anyone could play any note, or there's like a social game that's happening. So there's some lineage. Certainly we think of like Pauline Oliveros and others who are engaged in work with systems, but somehow Eastman has catalyzed them in a way that is like just very, very well, unique certainly, but yeah, but I don't know why it also feels neurodivergent to me. It feels like multifaceted and like the hierarchies are changing.
Yeah. And it could be that adherence to the patterns, which is something you spoke about in that video, that there are these melodies that repeat even in like sort of different ways that anchor and structure it. But then there are these moments of freak out and cacophony
Yeah.
where um it's like the programming is there and
Yes. Yes, the
like
programming. Yeah, it's so well said. Like, right. I think those patterns and a commitment to patterns. It's not just about the mantra or the mandala or the spiritual, like the koan or whatever. It's not just that. I think that's all there.
Mhm.
This spirituality and the kind of like repetition that's there, but very interesting to think of it as a mental pattern as well. That's done right on.
Yeah.